Hi everyone, welcome to a new episode with me, Derek aka Sal. If you've noticed, I've changed the name of this channel to the Timeless History channel. I think it is essential for everyone to remember and keep our past innovation in horology alive and educate people today and tomorrow to recognize how incredible vintage and antique timepieces are. In today's video, I will present an Omega watch I've been hunting for ever since the end of 2016. Until today, I've lost track of how many requests I receive from my client to help them locate this timepiece, and that is the Ryan Gosling Lala Land Omega watch. So before a group of watch enthusiasts started hunting for this Lala Land Omega watch, there was the Don Draper Seamaster DeVille from the TV series Mad Men that many watch enthusiasts were hunting after. I've sold a few Don Draper Seamaster over the past few years. It is a much easier watch to identify as the Seamaster DeVille is a trendy Omega models from 1962 to 1972. You can learn more about this watch by clicking the link above. If you like vintage watches, please smash that thumbs up button below and consider subscribing. I thought I found the Lala Land watch several times, but I will only be disappointed that it is still not the identical model Ryan Gosling wore in the movie. So what makes the Lala Land watch so challenging to locate? There are a few factors that makes this timepiece so rare. The first factor is the case material, where the bezel, including the lugs, is made of 10K gold fill. Gold filled is soft and will deteriorate over the years if not well cared for. Usually the sweat on our wrists will slowly erode the edge of the case where the case back screws into. Secondly, the model reference of this watch identifies it as a model from the US collection, so it is not a watch you can purchase in the 1950s if you live outside the US. A US collection timepiece is different from one made for the US market. Usually, a timepiece made for the US market has a unique dial variation and uses the same case reference as its international counterpart. That's why locating the Don Draper watch is much easier since a black dial Seamaster DeVille was available worldwide. To learn more about the US collection, the Omega US collection, click the link above. Lastly is the rarity of this watch. Uniquely built for the US collection is one reason, but we understand it carries an Omega caliber 284, which is not a common movement. A limited number of Omega references house this caliber, but the most famous are the Omega Ranchero and the Railmaster from 1957, the same year that Omega introduced this caliber and used until the end of 1958. The case material, the movement reference, and the rarity of the movement are the three main reasons that make this timepiece challenging to find. Since a fair amount of people are looking for this watch, with the vast majority being fans of Ryan Gosling, you will find many listings online for this watch. However, if you carefully study the case on those listings, you will find that they are only similar examples, but of different references. So if you rush on the purchase, you will most likely buy the wrong watch and pay too much for it. The only key area that I look for on this watch that makes it unique from all other Omega references is the shape of the lugs and how they are attached to the case. Even though the crown on this watch appears like the one on Ryan's watch, it may not be the original crown for this reference. That's because it would make sense for an Omega reference from the late 1950s to be signed. The case I mentioned on this watch measures 35mm across, excluding the crown, by 43mm from lug to lug. The case thickness, including the low dome acrylic crystal, is 10mm thick. The lug width is 18mm, and as you can see, I match a lizard skin texture strap to resemble the piece in the movie. You'll notice a few things when you examine the dial on this watch. The first thing is most noticeable, and that is the 12, 3, 6, and 9 hour indexes. Secondly, there is an apply lume spot on each arrow hour index and on the hands. Thirdly, the dial does not include the word automatic, so instantly you know this is a manual wind watch. Fourth, there is an inner minute track. And since it is a manual wind 1950s Omega watch, the minute hand will surpass the track, while the second hand will follow the track. To clarify, if this was an automatic watch, the minute hand would not surpass the minute track. The one thing I haven't mentioned yet is the case reference for this watch. Unscrew open the stainless steel case back and you'll find the case gasket and the reference number, which is Y-6277. With the case back open, you can now see the movement inside, and that is the Omega caliber 284 with 17 jewel. You will also find 2 case clamps and screws to hold the movement in position and keep it stable inside the case. However, 2 things that makes this caliber 284 different from the standard 284 are on the balance bridge. There is an OXG inscription indicating it is the correct version for the US collection. And the sweep second pinion bridge has adjusted to position inscribed. In contrast, the standard caliber 284 is left blank. These are little things to look for, but if you are serious about the hobby and want to own a correct original watch, you must thoroughly examine every little detail before buying the watch. So what's my opinion on this watch? Well, it's a simple looking timepiece. Aside from using one of Omega's best vintage manual wind types of movement, caliber 284 is based on the legendary caliber 30T2 SC. Considering it is a vintage watch, the case size is relatively prominent, where most cases are 34mm or smaller. But of course, there's nothing more important about this watch than that Ryan Gosling wore the same piece in the Lala Land movie. Ryan Gosling does not own just this one Omega, but he has another, and you can click on the link above to watch that video. That's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed and learned something new as always. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch my video. To show your support and help this channel grow, please smash on the thumbs up below to push the YouTube algorithm. And of course, consider subscribing to this channel as well if you enjoy content like this. I hope you have a wonderful day and I look forward to seeing you in the following episode.